This is the first time people aren't talking before we. Is it recording yet? Yeah, is it
I see
recording?
it.
Yeah.
It
Hey,
says recording.
it happens every week. Sorry, it's only been about 4 or 5 months since we've been using.
Who do you record this for anyway, dude?
The Zoom. The Zoom. Okay. Hey, everybody! It's the Recruiting Animal Show. April. It's not April anymore either. What's the date?
Cinco de Mayo.
May 5th. 2021. I got the year right. Okay. And our guest today is someone who was on the show back in 2013. 2013. And he's been telling me over the years, yeah, I want to come back. But it just took him a little while, like 8 years to get here. People are dying to get on this show. 8 years. Okay.
The hangover associated with the Recruiting Animal Show takes some time to get over it.
It's been a lot of therapy. It's been a lot of therapy.
Stacie, his marketing girl. I'll pay for that, Stacie, not you. They'll say it's on me. What a dinosaur jerk he is. Okay. Anyway, she has listened to a bunch of those old shows, and she approved. She still let him come on. And she even warned him not to use the bad words. And I said, I'm more liberal these days. Okay. Michael G. Cox, I'll just introduce him. thesalesrecruiter.com. Kendra, do you have something you want to plug? No, just smile. Okay.
I just need to apologize to Michael G. Cox because of a missed connection, but.
Okay. And our guest is Chris Murdock, Murdock. How many people spell it the wrong way, Chris? On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being everybody.
It's everyone east of the Mississippi spells it CH. Everybody west of the Mississippi, CK.
Okay. Anyway, what's your title?
I am the co-founder and chief sourcing officer of IQTalent Partners.
IQTalent Partners, fantastic success story. He and his buddy from high school or university, college. Okay, that was only 11 years ago. You founded the company, right? The two of you in your garage.
It's actually this month. So April of 2009, I left Yahoo. Called up my buddy. We started the conversations in May to start the company, and we officially launched in July of 2009. So this is our 12th anniversary year.
Okay.
So it's
you got it, but it was the two of you in your garage. Am I right?
It was. We were in my garage in Silicon Valley.
What is a garage?
Garage.
Garage.
It's Canadian for where you park your car.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
So they were in their garage. He's British now, okay? And now there's 150 of you. Am I right?
250.
250. What happened to me? I've been in the business longer than you, and it's still just me, okay?
I think we can talk about it at a later time, but it might be you.
Oh. Okay. Well, we'll see when I start asking you the questions if it's me or you, okay? Okay, you also worked at Heidrick and Struggles. That's one of the high-end recruiting firms.
Well, we got one of those.
Yeah, is there something about that? And I've done contract work for big name companies, and you know what? They jobbed it out to me at my, so I didn't assume there was that much difference except sort of a false front. What's the story there? Are they different from any other recruiting firms? Were you a special class of person when you worked there?
So it actually starts before Heidrick. So I started working at a retail executive search firm right out of college, Lehman Levan, which was then purchased by TMP Worldwide. I'm sure you remember when they did that huge roll-up strategy when they owned Monster.com. But what I learned then as a research associate was that it's about data, it's about understanding the market, it's about knowing and projecting.
Can you answer the question? Can you answer the question?
I'm getting there. I remember doing
this. No, that's not the way you work on the show. I said, is it any different? And you said, I'm going to take you back to my childhood.
It's about the knowledge. It's about having the knowledge, the industry knowledge. And with Heidrick, they are the cream of the crop. They know the right people. And a lot of the people that I worked with at TMP and Heidrick, they're now at Caldwell, which acquired us. And so it's about projecting the industry knowledge. It's about understanding who's who and actually having quick access to them. That's what really differentiates the Heidricks, the Caldwells, the Spencer Stewarts. That's what separates them from some of the boutiques.
Okay, Michael G. Cox, can you help me again? You know, half the screen is taken up by people who don't want to be seen. How do I get rid of their boxes? Because I know there's a way that they don't have. We don't have to see their names. You know,
you can do speaker. You can do speaker view.
Yeah, but then he's only going to see himself, and that's not pretty.
Yeah, I don't like that. Okay. Okay. You know what? Thanks for that. It's okay.
Hey,
Josh.
Josh,
it's okay. He's going to be a guest again soon. Okay. Yeah, you didn't want to answer that question clearly. Here's what I got it. There's no difference at all. You're a guy who's never had a real job except as a recruiter. And you started with what you called a retail firm, and that was absorbed by other firms. So essentially, you're just this guy, right, who ended up by one fish swallowing another in one of the top end firms. And that looks very good on your resume. Am I right about that? Would anybody agree with me?
It was a phenomenal experience. I learned a lot. And then when I got recruited to Yahoo, I got to learn new stuff. Okay. I got to learn what it was like to be an in-house recruiter.
So let me ask you a question. I think you kind of answered it already. Did you go into recruiting to help people?
No, I got into it because I was desperate for a job.
Okay, so no, everybody, if you talk to lots of recruiters, they're going to say, oh, I like to help people. That's what we're here for. That's not why you're there, okay? And at least this guy's honest, okay? It's not why he became a recruiter, okay?
No, I didn't. I came out. I
didn't ask you to blab. No. Okay, next question.
All right.
Because I've been wasting a lot of time already, okay? Are you going to ask people if they've been vaccinated? Because I saw that a hospital is getting rid of everybody who works there who refuses to be vaccinated. So anybody new employees, they're going to have to be vaccinated. Is that going to be part of your routine, asking candidates if they're vaccinated?
No, it will not be. Because we work for our clients, if our clients are asking, we will. But if we think there's an issue, we'll talk to our internal
team. So you will. If you have to, you will.
Because we work as an extension of our clients in-house.
Yes, we know how recruiting firms. Our audience is recruiting firms. They understand that. Okay, but
what is this audience you speak of?
Yeah, well, okay, that's us. Are there any other client companies so far asking for?
No, nobody's asking that now.
Okay, Josh or Michael G. Cox, what do you think about that? Are people going to be asked if they're vaccinated?
I haven't seen any of that happen. The one thing I have seen is there are a couple clients that are just dragging their feet with regard to the whole work from home situation. So that's
dragging their feet. What does that mean?
Meaning they expect everyone to come back to the office full time. And they're only willing, and this is just a few clients, only willing to hire individuals that can make the commute to the office on a Monday through Friday.
And they're not insisting that these people coming back are vaccinated?
No, that hasn't come up, which I would figure if you want these individuals in your office 20,
Josh wants to talk. Josh wants to talk.
I mean, there is because of religious beliefs, I can't ask in California. I can't discriminate against someone who doesn't want to get vaccinated. You got Jehovah's Witness. Don't forget about that.
I ain't going to work in somebody's office unless they've been vaccinated. Okay, I have a right to screen them out.
I can't ask them. I don't think we can legally ask that question. It's going to be
ridiculous.
But whatever. The agency.
I haven't heard anything about it being illegal to ask the question. You just can't provide doctors can't provide the data. The HIPAA compliance. That's on the doctor side.
Okay. Would you?
Yeah, it's still evolving, Murdock. But it is a religious thing. Go back to it. I mean,
Chris Murdock. If you were asked to come back to your office, maybe you are. I mean, are people gonna come back to your office, or is everyone gonna work from home for your company from now?
We were already allowed people to work from home. You just kind of had to kind of get to the point where you earned the ability to work from home.
Yeah.
Now we transitioned to it. We're just going to hotel the office space. If somebody wants to come in, they got to sign up to come in.
And they don't have to be vaccinated.
We're going to ask it. Have you been exposed? We're going to ask all those questions you're asking. We're still trying to figure out what our policy is going to be around vaccinations.
This is funny. Here's a guy who actually advertised on Twitter that he participated in the J&J trial. He's been vaccinated himself since last November, and here he's, he can't give a straight answer on.
Well, no, we don't have. No, we don't have.
You know the answer. You know it's right. Okay. Why expose people?
No, nothing is right, dude. First of all, start there.
Yeah, well, Nashville isn't even open yet. So we can't even open yet. So we don't have a policy because we don't know what Nashville's going to do.
Okay.
Hey, but I'm curious. What does that do for your real estate bill? Are you guys?
It's already pretty low.
That footprint?
It's already really low. I mean, we have 2 floors, lots of distance. Lots of places to socially distance. Individual offices.
You know what? Come on, you guys, you're wrecking the show now. I wrecked it at first. Here's another question.
Hey, it's my turn to wreck this show.
Well, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. Look, Chris waited 8 years before he gave us the honor of coming back.
Chris, are you thinking about reducing your footprint?
No.
No, you're going to, okay, interesting.
No, we're going to give, if at some point, if people are really comfortable coming back in, regardless of what our policy is, we want to make sure we have enough space.
Man, you are cool, calm, and collected. He's got a high emotional quotient. That's another question. I saw
like
on one of your
thought about these things.
One of your articles, you've got soft skills, and you lift soft skills. They're completely different from what I think soft skills are. Emotional quotient, maturity is one of them, and you come across as on an even keel. Okay, I have to give you a compliment for that. Okay, anyway, but here's what you say. You say, this is a quote from you. Today, so many candidates are not only interested in texts about potential opportunities, they prefer it. Okay, are you going to stand by that?
Yeah, it's an age thing. I think we're getting more and more candidates that are, millennial and younger that actually are prefer text. They don't do email.
I think you managed to evade what I'm going to say next, because this doctor, who I'm sure is in the actual age group that you say is text oriented, he says, this is what he said to a recruiter. He said it on Twitter. Text is reserved for my family and friends. Yours is intensely intrusive and insulting, and the best way to teach me never to answer, even if I'm interested. Please don't even text back with an apology, as that would result in blocking you permanently. That's not someone who wants to be texted. Is he just crazy or a dinosaur? Or I noticed in your follow-up comments when you said that texting, everybody wants to be texted, you didn't say anything about cold texting for recruiting positions. You said alerts about career fairs, reminders of upcoming interviews or referral nights, frequent, fax delivered before the first day, those kind of things. So those are like follow-up communications that you're talking about.
Where they can opt out. Having the ability to opt out, having the ability to say, please don't text me anymore, and we won't. But more often than not, we talk to them on LinkedIn or some other platform, and they said, hey, can you text me? And that's when things move to text.
So you're not endorsing cold texting. Am I right about that? Because it sure sounds like you're evading that question.
No, it depends on whether they want to opt in or out.
Cold tested. Not when you've talked to them already on LinkedIn and they say, yeah, text me. When you this idiot doctor gets a text and has a hissy fit, okay? Cold texting. Do you believe in it for recruiting? Yes or no?
Yes. With the ability to opt out.
Wouldn't know it from reading what you wrote. Anybody else want to comment on that?
Well, here's the other thing. I got to comment on the doctor thing. My wife, until she's a doctor, and until she met me, she has never responded to a recruiter. She never thought about being recruited. And so that doctor is just probably like my wife, old curmudgeon, and still reads the Sunday paper.
Thank you for being straightforward. I mean, I don't want you to follow the path of Bill Gates, okay? But I like that straightforward. Anybody else want to comment on cold texting?
What is this opt-out thing? Normally, like the opt-out thing that I get is they stop texting me. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Or do you actually send them a little unsubscribe button at the bottom.
It depends. Some of the software platforms actually give the ability to say stop, and it automatically updates your system. But if somebody says stop texting me, make a freaking note in your system that nobody else from your firm contacts or company contacts them via text.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't figure out how to, I'm a slow learner. I can't figure out how to get rid of those boxes there that are just names of people who aren't talking. Okay, so I guess we'll have to. No, it's okay, Kendra. I'm not bugging you. It's okay. You don't have to come on.
How was
There you
lunch?
go.
I'm
Tell 'em,
complaining about myself. I'm not complaining about you.
Done.
Yeah, you were. You were talking about Kendra.
No, I wasn't. Okay, does anybody else want to talk?
Texting is good.
Yes.
I say go ahead and text away.
Cold texting. Cold
Yes.
texting.
No,
Cold,
there's no such
warm,
thing.
whatever,
I mean,
text away.
I get people on email telling me, how dare you email me? And it's like, so you just either you apologize or you don't. And you just move on, make a note.
Give us
had a
an
guy this
example.
morning-
Hold on. Give us an example. When did someone scold you for emailing? Was it because you used their personal email, or because you used their work email, or because you just used the email or got in touch with them?
Both. And the person we emailed to their personal email. In both instances, they both thought their bosses could see their emails at work. Like, how dare you email me at work? But it's like, dude, I emailed your personal email. And the other person got bent out of shape because I did email to their professional email. We try to send most emails to personal, but we've had people get upset about being contacted at either. But it's rare. It's rare. It's very rare.
But Chris, when they do that, do you really want to pursue them anyway?
No, we just make a note not to contact
Yeah,
them.
no, but I mean, when somebody does get all crazy on you, isn't that an indication that okay, they're not?
No, that's
I will run away,
definitely like,
delete.
yep, not a candidate, not a fit, move on. Yeah. I don't get upset. We actually teach when we train new people, we tell them that this may happen, that you might get somebody that is, upset about being contacted in general.
And they're just ignorant. That's what you told us. You were willing to say, well, your own wife was a cranky dinosaur.
Yeah, that's not ignorant, but that's a cranky curmung.
Okay.
I like when he says upset instead of crazy.
Yeah,
this guy was crazy. Did you read? You heard what this guy said? He's.
I know, but right now he's saying just
about
upset.
my wife, I've said to her in person, because like she has to read the Sunday paper, like the actual physical Sunday paper. I call her a Luddite.
Okay.
Hey, Animal, I got one of those responses this morning. This guy at Oracle responds and says, "Hello, Michael. How did you obtain my email address?" Like, dude,
you paranoid freak. Have you ever heard of the internet? You dumb.
At a company like Oracle, you figure it out real quick. It's just like, first name dot last name. His is like first name dot middle initial dot last name at oracle.com. It's like, dude, that's easy. So I replied, I said, how much of a recruiter how good a recruiter would I be if I didn't know how to figure out an email address at a massive company like yours?
Yeah, I guess they're out of it. They don't realize. I shouldn't be so hard on them. Okay, before I go on.
It's creepy how much information is actually out there. I found some dude's driver's license and every license plate to all of his cars, like published on a website.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's creepy.
Okay. What about texting for business development? Cold texting. Terry Edwards is a trainer. He said they get better responses, and you're shaking your head. Am I right, Chris?
We don't do that. We don't do that.
Why not?
For business development.
Why not?
We don't do business development.
Okay, well, that's a different answer. Oh, no, I would never do it. Yeah. What about you, Josh? Do you endorse that? I got to watch. I don't want to ask this guy too many questions. He's coming on in a couple of weeks.
Well, I didn't know how to listen to you. I didn't go to your feed. I don't know where it is anymore. So I just had to do this.
I want you here. I just said it's my responsibility. I'm going to have to come up with new questions when you show up.
I'm out at 9:30 anyway. But yeah, for the texting what I call a Zoom Info, when they were pitching me, because I have a little side hustle. Zoom Info was pitching me. They said they do a significant, most of the salespeople in other fields do a significant amount of it now.
Cold
You know,
texting for
cold
business.
texting
Cold
for
texting
business.
for business development. Okay.
Yeah,
Here's the thing about cold texting is
Yeah,
I don't
but-
think it's anybody's first step, which would be
Yeah, it's more
Then
later
it's not
on.
cold.
Yeah.
it's
not
exactly
Mhm.
it's message on LinkedIn,
a good point.
email, text, but
Yeah, it's part of your sequences.
exactly, it's like the
Right.
fourth step. It's usually, or mine is, connect. Thanks for connecting. First, real message, but still through LinkedIn. Then an email. Then a phone call. They're not going to answer, so leave a voice message, and then a text message. But all of those things are referencing each other, so it's not really cold.
But it's not warm either. I mean, if they've been unresponsive, I think all of those messages could be considered cold because they may not have been seen.
True, but at least they'll have by then, by that step in your sequence, they will know your name or company, and yeah, it's not going to be entirely
That's
like
interesting.
blind.
Let's call that semi-cold, okay? Because they've seen your name, but they've
Lukewarm.
never
Semi-cold?
spoken.
You mean
they've
like
never
warm?
spoken to you, okay?
Lukewarm.
That's an interesting distinction.
Tap
Okay.
cold.
Somebody say, call my name.
No, I prefer semi-hot.
Semi-hot.
No, I like
Sem-
tap cold. You
semi-hot.
got cold.
Kendra,
and then you got,
I'm going to take I just want her to know. I am going to take a still photograph of her drinking from a bottle. Okay. I put it on.
We'll just call it Canadian summertime.
Yeah.
There you go.
Did
That's
somebody?
that's a warm right
Was
there.
someone trying to
Warm.
say something? Did someone try to say something when I was making that comment?
everyone's always trying to talk when you're talking.
That's not true. Sometimes I'll count to 10 before someone has something to say. Was someone want to say something, or I'll move on?
We can move on.
Okay. I just want to plug Ernie. Ernie
Hello?
is he's foodindustryrecruiter.com. Foodindustryrecruiter.com.
Nice.
Josh, do you have a website or something you want to plug?
No, I'm like in-house guy, so no, not really.
No. Okay.
Inhouseguy.com.
I know.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
bad.
I don't feel I don't feel as important
Chris,
as other. I guess
Chris, we
sometimes.
didn't really give you plug your company now, okay?
We are a professional services
The
company.
name of the company
Oh,
first,
already said-
okay?
Okay. All right. Stacey's going to school me after this.
Hey, Stacie,
so-
wait a sec. Your boy's doing really good, okay? I think he's terrific. I think he's great. Don't
So
fire him.
IQTalent Partners, we are a professional services firm that provides on-demand research, sourcing, and recruiting.
So why do you say professional services firm instead of recruiting firm, okay?
Because we're trying to change it from this idea of hiring a person or a contractor and you're hiring a firm. That's why we emphasize the professional services, because our biggest competitors are contract recruiters and other firms like ours. So what we're trying to do to differentiate, you're hiring IQTalent Partners.
Okay,
not our individual people.
well, now that you're
He's doing it for Scrabble points.
he
Come on.
provoked me. I read his
Aha.
blog. I read his articles. His company.
Wait. Kendra's got to introduce herself.
Does she want? She's an in-house woman.
In-house girl.
I know, but you went through everybody else. You didn't introduce.
Okay. Okay, she's in
Hi,
a new
Kendra.
room. I like that pink bedroom she's. So this one's nice and airy. Okay, I like that too.
That way Chris can get ready for
Maybe
the
it's not a
response.
real. Oh, she's like me. Okay, yeah. I'm out on the prairie. She's on a nice airy attic. Okay. He just said, our buddy Chris just said that his primary competition are independent contractors, but he went after RPOs. Okay, with a passion. I'm going to quote what he said. Some RPOs are making money hand over fist like that's a crime, while aiming to find a hire who checks off most of their clients' must-haves as quickly as possible. Now, that implies that, they just got this shallow checklist and they don't really go into any depth. And that's what he says next. They aren't spending time getting to know the ins and outs of their clients' organizations or candidates. Worse yet, their pricing model rewards them purely for positions filled, not the quality of hire. Every recruiter we ask say they're not responsible for the quality of hire. So you're going to have to defend that statement, and also about your criticism of RPOs.
We feel that the on-demand model, so we don't have a contract. No minimums, no maximums. You ramp us up, you ramp us down. And we feel that by giving our clients that ability to follow their recruiting demand curve, one, creates longer lasting relationships with the client. That's what we want. That's less business development that needs to be done. Second, we're able to partner with our clients and really get ingrained into the employment brand.
An RPO, is it? Why? Because they're external?
A traditional RPO, and you can actually, I can be wrong, but my understanding of the RPO model is that you outsource everything completely. We have worked with RPO recruiters, but we primarily work with in-house salaried recruiters as an extension of the talent acquisition team at our client.
Hold on, I understand that RPOs, lots of these guys are embedded in the company. Okay,
they own everything.
They kind of get to know the people there. Am I right or wrong about that? Anybody want to comment? Anybody know more about RPOs than I do?
I mean, they do, but usually they're kind of parachuted in a little bit last minute, and they're asked to really grind it out.
Really?
Well, it's because nobody needs somebody tomorrow. Everybody needed somebody yesterday.
Augmented contract staffing, where you throw them in there and then they grow from there. So a lot of times sometimes they have to work with what's already in place, and they're augmenting the staff, and it's a pretty weird relationship a lot of times from what I've seen. Usually,
I thought an RPO, they hire this company, they send one or two people in, depending on the size, and they handle everything. They're paid by the RPO, not by the, but they're there. They're essentially like Kendra or like you.
Yeah.
They're in-house.
But they're a warm body. I mean, they're a warm body. I mean, they're a lot of times just in the spot.
They're processing applicants. They're
processing applicants. Exactly. Yeah. They're doing a lot more processing of internal applicants, doing the administrative work.
I am shocked. Shocked.
Sourcers,
anybody else?
Many times they're very junior, in my opinion. Like,
but see, Josh and Kendra will, understand, like as an in-house recruiter, there's a greater sense of ownership and accountability, not just to the hiring managers, but also to the directors of talent acquisition, the heads of HR. We are accountable to them. Our team is trained the same way. We are accountable to the candidates, our clients, and our colleagues. And so the clients, everything from the hiring manager all the way to the C-suite.
Yeah.
So just to piggyback on what Chris said, I really need a junior sourcer on my team, just to do the initial aggregate list for review and outreach. And we hire list firms because they won't hire a junior recruiter at $60,000. So we burn through that in a month paying list vendors.
Okay. Well, in other words, some of these guys are dumb. Sorry, Chris.
Well, I was just going to say, but a lot of companies are. This is where we come in. Like a lot of companies don't want to hire a full-time sourcer because they can't necessarily have 40 hours a week for a year.
Right. And we might not need them in 3 months.
And good luck hiring a contractor for a 3-month contract. They're going to prioritize a 12-month contract over your 3-month need. And we come in, we do the work, and when you're done,
just like a regular recruiter. I feel bad that Josh didn't feel welcome enough to say goodbye. Okay, he told us he's leaving, but I'm sensitive. Let me go on with that article. You say our pricing model is hourly and more cost effective. Okay, hourly. You bill them by the hour?
Yeah, we do billable hours. We typically do things in like 20 hours or 40 increments of 20. So if you need a sourcer, a part-time sourcer and a part-time recruiter, we can give you 20 hours a week of each. But if you get to a point where you don't need anything, if you need to back the hours down because the pipeline's good, you turn us down. Or if you need to ramp up,
how much does it cost to fill a job then? I mean, like an agency fee, let's say is 20%. Okay, it sounds like it's way cheaper with you. Am I right about that?
It's more like the cost per hire. It's going to vary from industry to industry, company to company, but typically we are more in line with the in-house cost per hire than say an agency per hire. So doing an engineering search in Silicon Valley. If you're a contingency firm, you're being paid 20 to 30%. So for easy math, that could be a $50,000 fee just to hire an engineer.
Has that always been your model from the start?
No. So in 2013, we switched to the billable hour model because I was constantly having to go sell new searches, and we wanted to find a way to build a longer lasting relationship that incentivize them to use us longer term, or finish a hiring ramp and then come back when they needed us again. And so we have clients that use this continually have used this continually for 6-7 years, like Danaher. They've been one of our original billable hours clients. And then we have another client like J5 that just comes and goes whenever they have a hiring ramp for a new project. So that's our push and pull. So we have some clients long-standing that ramp up or down minor, but then we have others that go all the way down, come all the way back up.
Do you charge a different price for a different skill set of people?
Flat sourcing and research are the same rate, and then full lifecycle recruiting is the same rate. So we have 2 rates. That's it.
And Chris, is Nashville still like a bargain? You know, if I were to hire a list person in New York City, the rate would be, $150 an hour billable.
That's crazy.
I know, because
we're
Nashville's
at
a lower cost of living.
Our bulk of our team is here in Nashville, where the cost of living is low, no state income tax, the cost of real estate. That's one of the reasons, Michael, we're not going to reduce our space, because it's very cost effective. And even if we double the team here, they might still work from home half time, and we just need to give them the ability to.
Isn't that nice? He remembered your name, Michael G. Cox. I bet he didn't even have to look at the
right there
at the corner. Yeah, I know it's there, but it's hard to see.
Actually,
Okay, here's what else you say.
Chris, I've been to your space. It is very nice. I'll attest to everybody that I got the grand tour.
We have a bar on both floors.
I have a bar right here.
Yeah. Okay. You say our innovative approach. Okay, I hate that's a word I don't like. It's not on the bad list, but I don't like it. Okay, our innovative approach rewards our employees for getting to know our partners on a deep level. Okay, delivering high quality work and finding successful hires. What does that mean? That you're better on a deeper level than other people? What does that mean?
It comes back to the deeper, to use that word, deeper relationships with our clients. You said we had a pre-discussion about sympathy and empathy.
Yeah.
Our team has a high EQ, and they really have a greater sense of urgency. And it's not necessarily something you can train. We look for people that have that desire for a deep connection with their clients. This generation loves bringing all of who they are to the office and to their clients and to their work. There's not a lot of separation. And so personal and professional life is very intertwined. And so we have more success when our clients accept our people as part of the team. And when they are not treated as part of the team, that deeper connection doesn't exist.
Let me ask you something. Okay. They're part of the team while they're paying you. Okay. They might be part of the competition's team next week. Isn't that true?
As far as the client recruiters or our internal folks?
You guys, one of the problems I've always found with recruiting is if you've got a niche, there's only so many companies you can actually work for, because the other companies have to be source companies. And so when you brag about being deeply related to the people in the company or whatever, I mean, you're moving all over the place. Aren't you recruiting? Well, what's your deal with putting people into the competition as well in the same industry?
We're still, we may have 250 people, but we're still relatively small. And we have 100 clients.
That's not small.
But it feels small because
you want to see small? Look at those 2 guys, okay?
I resemble that remark.
Yeah. Well, I'm not small thanks to COVID.
Okay, let's go on.
But essentially, but we have clients from Danaher, industrial, clients.
I'm moving on. I heard enough about Danaher. Okay. Here's something for you to think about while I do an ad. Okay. You said the cost of recruiting, hiring, and onboarding a new employee can be as much as $240,000. But you linked to an article about the cost of hiring a bad employee, not a good one. Okay. And so what you're saying is a bad hire can cost you like $240,000, although the link
by the time you figure it out,
the link is dead. Okay.
It's,
The
oh, I
link
mean,
is
you're
dead.
going way back, man. You're going
No,
way back.
I'm not. Okay. The link is dead. I don't think the cost of a hire, when you're talking about the cost of a hire, that's different than the cost of a bad hire. Just for the record.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll say fair point.
Okay. Okay. Hey, Stacie, that was for you. Okay. You're welcome to come on and argue with me. Okay, and there's other websites as well. I checked that out. I mean, that was a dead link, but I thought I could find it elsewhere. And there's other websites with infographics about how much it costs to hire, and they'll tell you that if you have a bad hire, that person can screw things up so much it'll cost you $850,000. Okay, but anyway, right now, everybody, I want to tell you about Honeit.
$1 million.
I haven't sent a bill to Honeit in 2.5 years, but I'm going to do an ad for them anyway. HONEIT.com. Last week's guest, the famous David Stephen Patterson, he endorsed them. I was impressed. Okay. What do they do?
Famous.
They're an online interview technology. You go to the website, your candidate goes to the website, you have the interview. It records everything. Okay. Audio, video if you want, turns it into a searchable transcript. And there's a thing when you have a key question, you press a button and it starts recording that special question. And when you're finished that key question, you press another button. It turns it into a clip you could send to the hiring manager. She will know, hey, man, this gets right to the heart of the issue. Wow. And you'll impress them. HONEIT.com. Now, HireTool, they were a sponsor as well. HIRETUAL, and they are endorsed along with Entelo, the competitor, as one of the advanced sourcing tools that modern recruiters should be using in an article I read by Chris this morning. That's true, isn't it, Chris?
Yes.
Okay, that's an answer for you. Okay.
Thank
Does
you,
anybody
Chris.
else have a question for Chris? Everybody said I don't let anybody talk. Anybody?
Do all of your go ahead, Stacie. Excuse me, Kendra.
Stacie is
Um,
not talking today. Okay,
So
she's
Chris,
welcome to.
other,
There's half an hour left. Stacie, please, you're welcome to come on. Go ahead, Kendra.
other than staff extension, Chris, does your team use that whole suite of sexy tools? My company won't buy those. They don't think with 6 recruiters we need HireTool or Seekout or any of that. So when I qualify partners, I look for people that have the tools that I don't have access to.
Yeah, we keep a really deep tool bench, and we're always looking to try the new stuff that comes out. We're always looking to see, can we replace HireTool with Seekout, or do we need both? Well, both provide different data, different things. So we have Crunchbase, we have Hoovers, we have PitchBook. We've built our own database of contact information with phone numbers and email addresses. So when ZapInfo was acquired by Indeed, we created our own plugin.
Hey, let me ask Michael G. Cox and Ernie a question about that. Okay, they've got 250 people. They've got deep pockets, and obviously they're not cheap like a lot of other big companies. So does that make them better than people like us? Because they, HireTool is expensive enough, but he's got HireTool and Seekout, maybe Entelo, and maybe some five of those expensive tools. Does that make them better?
Tello.
What?
Intello.
Okay, that's your answer. My pronunciation.
Yes.
That's your answer. Oh, that's an evasion. You don't want to say, yeah. You know what? Maybe he's got an advantage.
It gives them a time advantage. They can get to an individual either on the client or the candidate side a little bit faster.
A little?
Okay.
Yeah. That matters.
You could have 20 tools, but you're an individual. You don't go to all 20 tools on every search.
No.
You're going to use 1 or 2 favorites that you have, and you develop a system. So does it make you better? No. I think it depends on the person that's actually doing the recruiting or the hiring. As to, number 1, do they know how to use the tools? And number 2, do they remember they have the tools? And
yeah,
I think Chris probably
hold on, that's not fair. That's not fair.
No. Ernie's got a good point. It's not it's not how many tools you have, it's how you use them. And so if you only have a few tools or you don't have any at all, it's how do you leverage what you got? And so
Oh my
our
God.
team does a really good job of identifying.
Somebody
which
with no
are best
tools
for the
would say just that.
client. Well, I don't use them all. I use the ones that are appropriate for the client.
Okay, so how many of those tools? Say you have 25. I don't know, whatever number. What are your go-to tools that you use?
Yeah. Next question. Go ahead. Answer that.
No, I think, you know, like everyone starts with LinkedIn, Crunchbase to create target list of companies. Those are probably our two most popular resources. But then for diversity hiring, we have tools like Seekout and other resources that allow us to prioritize diversity searches.
What's your best email? This is like standard questions. What's your favorite email finder?
The one we built.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
The one we built. So we used to have an
Yeah,
organization.
that's the one.
Yeah.
So sexy.
So we used to have an organization called the CIA, the Contact Information Associates. It was a bunch of college students that would find email addresses and phone numbers using some of our tools. Well, we started to realize that, hey, well, where are they getting this information? And so we went and got it. And so we built a tool where you can drop a list of LinkedIn URLs into this thing, and it grabs email addresses and phone numbers, and we can export it to Excel.
From LinkedIn or from some other
you
source?
use the LinkedIn URL is the associated reference. You can do a name search elsewhere, but I can do a big grab. So if I have a list of LinkedIn URLs, I drop it into a text box.
Will that get you put in LinkedIn jail? That's what I'm asking. Is it
No, public URL. It's the public URLs. You have to manually copy and paste it, or it's in the export from LinkedIn Recruiter. So LinkedIn Recruiter now gives you the ability to export your project folders to CSV. And in that CSV is the link to the public URL. I can then take that list of public URLs, drop it into this tool that we built, and it automatically goes out and finds email addresses and phone numbers in the data that we have.
And how did you and your partner, you're still friends, I guess, are you?
Oh, we're best friends.
How do you maintain that? How do you maintain that?
He's very different from me. I am more emotional. I am a little bit, I'm having to be even keeled here, but no, I'm much more like, I'm very passionate. I speak passionately about my team. Tom is the finance guy. So when I wanted to start my own firm, the first phone call went to Tom. And I said, Tom, will you be my grown-up? I needed somebody to do all those things you need a responsible person to do. And I tell everyone, if you're going to start a firm, you need a Tom. You need somebody who is level-headed, good with money, able to set up systems, and then also that can manage you, especially recruiters. We're a passionate group. I mean, I had to recruit my own boss, essentially.
Hold on. How do you and Tom get along? He sounds boring, okay?
Oh, no, he's not, but he's just way more responsible than I am.
So in creating this tool that you did, who created it, you or Tom?
Actually, our director of technology, he and another guy worked on it for about a year, and also built our core database at the same time.
Do you have a special place where you keep all your information, or do you use one of the regular tools that every other recruiter uses?
We tried the off-the-shelf stuff, and because of our business model and the way that we work with our clients, we needed something that was custom to us. And so we hired a director of technology who's been building out his engineering organization to customize the software for us.
Okay, so you don't have an ATS. Is that what Ernie was saying in some fancy lingo that I didn't understand?
It's a search management. Think of it as a search management tool.
You don't have an ATS, am I right?
It is not an ATS.
Okay.
It's about to become a CRM.
But hold on, I'm going to quote you on CRMs. You said CRM solutions should be used to engage both passive and active candidates for the roles that are relevant to them. The moment they get something from you that isn't relevant, they'll hit that unsubscribe link and you've lost them. So it's an issue of pipelining. I want to ask you about that. But you also say CRMs. We have to tell people what CRM stands for. CRMs fail often when they're implemented to shore up the weaknesses of an applicant tracking system. There are several ways of filling in the gaps left by an ATS. Adding a CRM without first understanding why it's needed and how to deploy the system is a recipe for disaster. You want to tell us a bit about CRM since you're such an expert?
It is so easy. If the CRM process that
Wait a second. Wait,
on,
I want to ask my critics. Am I boring today? Am I asking him the wrong questions? I'm interested in this, but should I change direction? Any feedback?
I'll give a quick answer.
No, I don't want a quick answer.
No,
Let me
but
get.
You're going good. He's doing good. Let him answer.
Okay, go ahead. Tell us all about CRMs.
So applicant tracking systems, you don't message passive candidates. It kind of leaves applicant tracking systems are just for applicants or past applicants. So they're currently applied to a job, or you find them in the job. They're not necessarily set up to message and engage with previous applicants. A CRM is really meant for, whether you're in marketing or in recruiting. A CRM is about trying to build relationships. But my whole point of that article was you need to build relevant relationships. If I'm just spamming a bunch of people that don't want to buy my crap or don't want to work for my company, or I'm sending them jobs, I'm referencing jobs that just are not right for them, they're not going to want to build a relationship with me because I didn't take the time to get to know them. I need to understand who they are, what they might want. And that is a judgment call. I still might make a mistake and mistake a C++ engineer with a Python engineer. But the whole point is that if I'm not engaging the talent pool or my potential.
Okay, let me interrupt you. Before you make a speech, in your articles, you go on, everybody criticizes me for making speeches, okay? In your article, in a number of them, you go on about using past applicants as part of your network, okay? So I assume, first of all, that you think these losers who didn't get the job, somehow they're still good, even though because they're sitting in the ATS. And then you're going to communicate with them. And just like you said, if you send them the wrong thing, you're going to lose them. So now you said you have to get to know them. What does that mean? You have to personally talk to every one of these people. And what are you sending them? Just jobs, or are you sending them articles?
You're sending articles. They came.
And are they your guys, or are they your clients' people?
Clients. The clients. This is all talking about the client side because we don't have an ATS. We don't have applicants to IQTalent unless they want to work with us. So that would be the only relevant thing here. But for our clients, we are helping them make sure they get the most out of the data that they have. Some people, a company like Eightfold, part of their tool is to rediscover who's in who applied to the jobs. And just because they didn't get the job doesn't mean they were even interviewed. They just, the recruiter got through 30 candidates out of 3,000 and stopped reviewing and just dispositioned everybody else. So just because somebody applied doesn't necessarily.
Good answer.
So is your model more like being a temporary internal recruiter and then off you go to another one?
Ernie, let me
we have long-standing relationships.
Wait a sec. Okay. Yeah. I know. Hold on. I want to ask two questions. Okay. Do you bill separately for that service when you set up a CRM? It sounds like you're not recruiting.
We don't set up CRMs. We just make sure that our team is leveraging them correctly, and we've actually helped clients go through a CRM implementation.
Okay, so you charge them separately for that, right?
No, everything is done by the hour. If you want to deploy,
that's what I mean. But it's aside from a search, or it's at the front end of a search.
You're hiring our sourcers and recruiters to be a part of your team, and how you want to use them is up to you.
Okay. But what about people like Michael G. Cox and Ernie and me? Would we be better off switching to Ernie? Now you can come in if you want to. Would we be better off switching to a model like yours? We don't have 250 people. It's just us. Or maybe, I don't know.
The thing is, you may already be that way. I mean, your clients hire you for a project, or there's usually a term out, and if they decide.
No, I mean the hourly billings. The hourly billings.
It's up
you don't make as much. I've billed contract hours. You don't make as much.
Yeah, it just depends on the relationship. The reason we switched to the model was because I'm a relationship builder. I'm not a sales guy, which is why we don't have a BD department. We don't have salespeople. We say that our team's execution is the best form of sales that we could ever have, because we build our business. We've built this business on referrals, recommendations, and word of mouth.
Still sales.
It's sales, but it's not like direct sales.
I'm
Like
shocked, Ernie, but Ernie's got to get a chance to talk. Ernie.
No, I'm listening, and it's kind of like, you kind of remind me of like the, I guess you'd call it like the dog groomer that's in the van.
Aussie Petmobile.
Yeah, you know, that you're doing that and you're going around and, you know, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to set you up. You may have tools, you guys don't know how to use them. We're going to help you kind of fix it up, and then we'll move on. All of the people that you recruit to that company for that project stay there. They're not yours.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yeah. If they're an IQTalent employee, they're here on demand by the hour. Anyone we place, it's full. We do permanent placement.
Okay, and then you have the people that have applied but didn't get the job. Does that stay with the company, or do you haul it over to yourself?
No, it's any applicants are stay in their system, and anything we generate from a research perspective, any list that we build, it's our clients. We give it to them.
So when you do that, and you bring over a team of, what is it, 2 or 3, maybe?
Oh, it can be half a person to 20 people.
Okay, say 20 people. Do you then charge them a dollar amount, an hourly amount for all 20 of those people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then is that dollar amount different? Like you're bringing in your starters and then your reserves and then your
we
A
have
guy and your B.
It's the same price for research and sourcing, the same price for recruiting. But
even in that category though of research or sourcing, you got different levels of people. You got your really good ones, and then you got your not so really great ones. But I'm sure you're going to tell me they're all great. But
yeah, because they are.
yeah. And you charge the same price. So do I get to pick John? Do I get to pick Mary over Johnny, or
if we feel we even have senior recruiters that do sourcing. Do we build a senior recruiter out at the recruiter rate? No, that person's doing sourcing. So whatever the job is being done, and if we feel that we have a senior recruiter that is really needed or is available for that project, we'll put that person there. But our sourcers are, trained in-house with what we feel is a phenomenal process.
Okay. So given that, do you do it by industry? I mean, do you go to different industries? Are you all over the place?
We teach an industry agnostic process. Most of what we train on is engineering and sales, but our industries range, from industrial. We got a wire company. We've never done a wire project. We had to do a recruiting project for high pressure molten metal casting. We'd never done that before. So our sweet spots are where we've done the most work: high tech startups, engineering and sales, finance, marketing, you name it. Functionally, we've done it. And industry wise, we're agnostic.
I don't want to be run out of. I want to ask Michael G. Cox a question. Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah. This guy said he's not a good salesperson. He seems like a fantastic salesperson to me.
I'm a relationship guy.
What does that mean?
I want to build I don't want a transactional relationship with my client.
You're not really. I don't think it's like building relationships. I think it's he probably, or my assumption is, it sounds as though Chris would like to have conversations that are serious about the problems that his client has, and over the course of time, they start realizing, sounds like this dude knows what he's talking about. And that's where the business comes from. It is sales, but it's
that's not what I mean. Okay. He's relaxed. He can talk up a storm about how great his process is. And he's never short.
Process.
He's a talker. Okay. And he's relaxed about it. He's not a monotonous talker. He's fun to talk to. Okay. So
and he's going to sound very smart because he's focusing on the things that he's good at and he's been doing for a few years.
Okay. So how come he says he can't do business development? Isn't that
because it doesn't feel like business development to him. He's like having a conversation with an individual that's a decision maker.
So he's talking out of two sides of his mouth.
No, but he's just doing it a little different.
He probably doesn't have to wake up and cold call people to build his
How
business.
come? How come? How did he build a business from his garage? Okay.
Okay, so now
without
you've gotten
doing
to a
any
question you
business
should have asked
development?
50 minutes ago,
Because
which
people
is
know I
how
don't.
did you get your first clients?
Because they knew I gave a shit.
How did
They
you get
know I
those first
care.
clients on the phone?
Because they were people that knew me, had met me, and they wanted to work with me. And then those people.
How did they know you?
Through the industry, through talking at conferences, which is where I think I met you.
There you go, dude.
FirstCon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it. You recommend being a speaker at conferences so other internal recruiters can know who you are and hire you as an external recruiter. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
At some point, it sounded, or it might have felt a little bit more salesy when you were making that transition, but
Well, no, when I got on panels, it wasn't to talk. When Jerry Crispin and John Sumser recommended me to Anna Brecka, who was, I guess, at Kennedy Info, which became OnRec. Yeah. They said, you know your stuff. You're not trying to sell me on you. You're trying to sell me on the value that you bring as a sourcer to Yahoo. Because that was when I was at Yahoo. And he said, you need to be on a panel. And I just talk about why. I don't talk necessarily about what I do. I talk more about why I do it.
Gotta go.
Bye, Michael G.
Yeah,
Cox.
bye,
What
Michael.
time is it?
You got about 5 minutes.
I got 5 minutes. Let's nail you a little bit on this. So how did people even know you were in business? These people who respected you to give you their business. Michael G. Cox left too soon because he was asking you some tough questions. I want to know how you got your clients. You must have sent out some flyers or something.
Well, no, we didn't have a marketing department until Stacie joined us.
Okay.
But
yeah.
we just did our job. We built, we got referrals. Everything's been referral based. I mean, that's usually how independence. We were small. It was just a couple of us.
Hey, everybody, I tried, okay? I can't choke the guy. He's not here in the room with me, okay? He won't tell us how he got his clients or
No, it was
how,
just by no.
how the referrals. He won't even explain how the referrals found out about what he was doing.
They came from people I knew, or I worked with.
How did they know? How did they know? How did they say, oh, Chris set up a new business? How did they know that?
Oh, I changed my LinkedIn profile and a bunch of people said congratulations. And then I announced it on Facebook that I'd started IQTalent. And it just, people wanted to know what we did, how we did it. And that in the beginning, we were flat rate research. And then we morphed into an executive search firm because some of our clients wanted us to do retained search. And that's when I wanted to move away. In 2013, I decided we needed to move away from the relationship or the transactional relationship to more of a long-standing relationship with our clients. And that's
okay, but you've never called executives in a company then to get business. It was always internal HR or recruiters who came to you. Okay. The people that most of us agency recruiters hate and can't relate to, they love this guy. Okay. He's their cutie pie. And that's how he built his business. I
had a call last night with some of the two people I used to work with at Yahoo who are now working for a electric car company. And they'd never worked with us before, but they'd heard good things and they wanted to know about what we were doing. And we caught up, and and now I'm getting an engagement letter to get them in.
There's 1 minute left. What do you want to talk about?
How do I learn how to say process instead of process?
I don't know why people torture me about these.
No. Because we were acquired by Caldwell Partners, which is an executive search firm based out of Canada, out of Toronto.
Yeah.
And they say process, and I'm trying to train myself to say process now.
Well, it's up to you, okay? And also, I'll tell you what else. You have to learn to say niche instead of niche, okay?
Niche, okay.
People here hound me about that. Okay. Ernie, food industry recruiter. Michael G. Cox, thesalesrecruiter.com. Kendra is just a lovely person. She doesn't have a website.
Sales roles for all of North America and Canada for a leading electronics manufacturer.
Oh, wow. You said it like Superman. And she wears a scarf, just like me.
This is sort of a Mexican looking for Cinco de Mayo.
Very stylish. And Chris Murdock, Murdock, IQTalent Partners. Anything else to add to that, Chris?
Can I do a plug for that we're hiring?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we're hiring recruiters, remote recruiters and sourcers immediately.
And how should they get in touch with you? How should they get in touch with you?
Grab me on, find me on LinkedIn. My LinkedIn URL ends at C Murdock, CMURDOCK. Connect with me, send me a message. Reach out.
Next time, next time you come on, I was going to ask you, I wanted you said you've got such fantastic people. I was going to ask you how you hire them, but we'll leave that for now. Everybody wave.
Referrals.
Everybody wave. Come on.